All right, hey everyone, welcome to the CE Pro podcast. I am executive editor Zachary Comeau, and I'm joined by Chris Babiak and Tommy Leonard from Ring, and they're both account managers from Ring. Chris and Tommy, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Great, yeah. So this is kind of piggybacking on the conversation we had on a CE Pro webinar last week. Now, talking about just growing your integration business with Ring. This is some things I think we want to touch a little bit more on. So when you guys talk to integrators who are really succeeding with Ring, what are they doing differently? What's working for them that others might be overlooking?
Well, the thing I always tell folks is when you're designing a system, especially when you're in that final consultative phase and you're pitching the solution, is sell the cake, not the ingredients, right? And it's interesting because it works the opposite when you're trying to promote your company, right? You don't want to just say, I'm a low voltage installer, I do smart homes. That puts us kind of into a box. You're more special than that. And so is the system. But getting into line items and saying something like, I'd like to get you a doorbell with some driveway lights, and then tie the two together with some programming and have that in 3 lines, it's not quite as compelling as I'm going to make a motion activated, mode scheduled, welcome and deterrent system for the front side of your home. It's the same system, but there's a much more compelling reason to get it. It's not just a series of toys. It's the WWE set that allows you to recreate WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
So like it's more than just the parts. So I would tell you that in your systems, sell the cake. In your business, sell the ingredients, right? What makes you stand apart? But if you're selling a Ring product, thank you. But that doesn't make your experience with that customer unique. What little twist are you putting in the programming? What do you custom add into the Alexa? What do you do with the remote control? What is it that you add to our products to make these neighborhoods safer is really the big part.
Chris, you have
And
any food analogies for us?
I don't have any food analogies. I have power analogies. As far as the stuff that's really overlooked for Ring, I think it's really the flexibility that we have for our products. And I think so many of the conversations I have had, the most eye-opening ones when I'm talking with different dealers and installers and integrators out there, is the flexibility. And we recognize the fact that so many of our pros have different levels of abilities, comfort levels, and licenses. And so we created those power accessories to kind of address all of those. And I think so many people get caught in that rut of like, hey, it's a wired doorbell, or it's just a battery camera I can stick up with a solar panel. And so we've created these different power accessories. So if you have a high voltage license, we have that hardwire kit. So you can go ahead and hardwire those products. If you don't have a high voltage license, we have the plug-in adapters. So even a low voltage guy can still go ahead and install a floodlight cam. And what I really love about the fact that we're leaning into this flexibility more, and even with our newest PoE adapter that we have for the Outdoor Cam Plus, and we kind of over engineered this. We've recognized that this is going to be used in a lot of different situations. So when we didn't just give a power adapter, we gave a mount that you can go over a single game box and go ahead and caulk around it and give you that solution. But recognizing there's going to be times when you're in a situation where you're just going to have an exposed wire. We created that outdoor junction box, that recognizing a lot of people are just going to throw this away in probably 90% of the installs. But those 10% of the time when they needed it, we wanted to make sure they have it, so that they're trying to run something on their own, create something on their own. We wanted to give them the ability that they can walk in knowing that they have the comfort level that they're going to be provided everything they need from a Ring standpoint. And I think that's really just what gets overlooked, is the fact that we're really leaning into and giving so many different opportunities to our pros with the different accessories and the different products that we have.
Right.
Well said.
Yeah, I've heard you guys say that Link devices are one of the best upgrades anyone can make to a Ring camera. Can you talk about why that's such a game changer, and how should pros be talking about that with their customers?
Sure. I mean, I'm a big link devices proponent. I do have, pre-roll on all my devices. And of course, I have motion zones and I have all my, I spent the time in my programming, but I don't go into the woods alone. I don't really go fishing alone. There's always someone to watch my back to go like, hey man, there's a crab pot right there. Maybe turn. Hey, you're gonna walk into that pole. You're not paying attention. It's the same type of thing with Ring. We can only create a motion event after there's been motion. So pre-roll is a great tool. But for me, I've said since before I was even with Ring, the best pre-roll is a link device. Because if I can go, hey Chris, behind you, at least even if you're recording the wrong way, now I have two views of whatever's happening. I have a
Mm,
proper solution to what it was. Customers will often call and say, I want a ring on the front door. I want a video doorbell. Sure. What they really want is to know what's going on outside their house. So
right.
what they're asking for is a cake, right? But are we just dumping flour, sugar, and eggs on their front porch? Or are we creating the real solution? So getting that second one up there that looks the common direction that someone comes down the driveway, or the mailman always comes from this way and he gets onto the and off, and I never even see him. Or a lot of houses are built where the door just doesn't face the proper direction.
Mm,
Like I grew up in a house where you had to walk in and turn, you couldn't see anything if you put a doorbell where the door is. So we use the garage a lot. So we have now that house has a doorbell on there and on the garage and one on the back door. And then there's cameras scattered throughout because it's more about who's outside my house um, than it is which device would do the best job of it. The best thing that can happen is a pro goes out and programs multiple devices. So I'd rather people spend, and this is weird, I'd rather you buy a second device than a better device.
mm,
But buying two pro devices with 3D motion, that's really where we want to end up.
right.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's not just about adding another camera because you can link things through our smart lighting. Like on my front door, if you walk up to my front door, my doorbell starts recording motion probably about 15 feet before you get close to there because of the ring pathway lights that I have linked to my doorbell. And so I'm adding that pre-roll, but I'm also adding lighting to that install. And that leads me into other conversations, other things I can go ahead and help grow that install and improve the customer service experience for that customer as well.
Absolutely.
Tommy, you have some killer analogies, my man.
He
Yeah, it's
does, doesn't
Rich always jokes that I'm somewhere between Dr. Seuss and Mitch Hedberg. And
Yes.
I
Yep.
can't just let
Oh
something
yeah.
be. I have to
Oh yeah.
retwist it. Uh,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's
For
funny.
sure. Yeah, I like that. I like that comparison. Yeah, one thing that caught my attention was your advice about expanding partnerships to serve different trades, like mold remediation, real estate, landscaping. Like, we talk a little bit about that. I'm a little confused about what the use cases are there.
Sure. So, I rolled a truck for a long time. My goal was consultations. Every day it was book a consultation for some time in the future or today. And what I started to find was that people who needed mold remediation also probably needed some updates to their smart home because their outlets
Mm,
just ripped out, all the drywall's just ripped out. Plus, a lot of mold remediation companies don't put in an after system to alert if it's happening again. They just remediate and leave. So being able to partner with them and say, hey, a lot of your clients are in this situation where they can upgrade, they can make some changes, and they can position themselves to not go through this again. How can we work a package in? Do you want to roll it into your cost and raise your prices? Do you just want to give a referral? I'll give you a referral bonus if you give them my card. Same thing with real estate agents, landscapers, fencing. If I'm going to pay a couple $1,000s to have somebody fence in my yard, I value safety,
mm,
security, and privacy. So, what would go better than adding lights and those? Real estate agents, they're always giving gifts. They're looking for something to talk about. Plus, they're touring all the vacant homes where everybody's going to be moving into your neighborhood and needing some help. So, I always looked at it as if your customer lives in a house, they're my customer too. And
Right.
sometimes I'm going to have as many referrals as you would. So building those little networks and having a high bar, who lives up to your standard? Who would you use as a realtor? Where do you get sandwiches? Who would you have cater? All those things make your name ever more referrable. It's not a word, but we're going to make it one. But building those relationships locally. I'm sure a friend of yours from high school runs a successful landscaping company in the area. I have a
He actually
few
does.
too. I
Yeah.
know a roofer. I know 3 plumbers. I know an electrician, a mold remediator, and like 700 realtors. Why should they be getting excuses like, maybe I won't move, I'll just put the pool in? Well, you need a low voltage or an electrician guy to come out and make that pool more fun. So
Right. Right.
creating reasons for people to speak your name to people who live in houses is never going to create less business.
Right.
And I think a lot of it is just separating yourself from the competition. What are you doing differently? How are you doing it better? And I think that's a great point. The ability to walk into a real estate agent is like, how are you making yourself better than that person down the road, than the other agency? How about you providing, a gift where you have an installed doorbell every time you sell a home? So I'm helping myself separate myself from the competition, but I'm helping that other business do the same because we see it so many times, especially like in the MDUs out there. It's amenity wars. How is this apartment complex separating itself from the other apartment complex? What's the difference there? Having the
Yeah.
ability as an integrator to walk in and say, hey, listen, let's go ahead and build a solution together, our smart home solution for when your new tenants move in. So you can go ahead and advertise, you're going to get a free smart home when you move in as part of this package. So how can I help someone else separate themselves from their competition is a great strategy as well.
Yeah.
Right.
And a few easy ways to do it. Go on LinkedIn and instead of typing in the stuff that you're usually interested in, type in your zip code or your area. Do the same thing on Instagram. Go to the little magnifying glass and type in your city and anywhere that you would like to do work and see who's popular there. Maybe it's a
Right.
sandwich shop, maybe it's a local golf course. Send them a note. Go and drop off. Go do something for them. Go and have lunch there and look around for a light switch that's taped up. You can go, hey, can I help you with that while I'm here? Make a little friend because everybody in there goes home to a house. So they are a
Yeah.
prospective customer.
Right. So I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If you mention food one more time, I'm gonna leave this call and go get a sandwich. I'm getting
Hey,
hungry, dude.
it's another partnership I have. Primo
Yeah.
Host. I'm just kidding.
Click
Never
here for my
stop when it's
discount.
in.
Yeah, I think a lot of this kind of just boils down to marketing and just how you describe something. Can you maybe share, another example or maybe a real life example that you've seen where just, that messaging shift has, led to stronger sales?
Yeah, I think I had a great conversation a couple of weeks ago with a large electrician out west, has about 20 or 30 different crews out on the road. And, a lot of times they're seeing, downturns in their business. I was asking, how do what are your guys doing out there? Are they actually out there trying to drum up more business for you? And we got into the conversation because they're electricians. They're out there hanging and banging. They're out there, moving on to the next job. So we needed to provide a solution that makes it easy for them where they're comfortable. Someone may not be comfortable starting a conversation to generate leads. How can we do that? And honestly, it circles back to the Ring pet tag. And this is an amazing lead generation tool. And it's providing a simple talk track for an electrician or any installer. Just having the ability, you have a couple in your back pocket with some cards. You see somebody walking a dog in a neighborhood, you walk up, hey, I absolutely love animals. I'd love to
Mm,
go ahead and give you one of these. It's a digital lost pet flyer. You can create a pet profile. You can blast it within a 5 mile radius if your dog gets lost. Then if someone scans it, you're going to get a notification. There's no fees. There's no device requirements. It's just a free thing. And by the way, if you have questions about smart home automation, you have anything else you need, give me a call. It's a
right,
simple talk track that anyone can do. And it's an easy way to start a conversation instead of just someone walking and knocking up on a door and saying, would you like a free doorbell? So it's just, what can we do? Because like Tommy always talks about, we don't provide products, we provide strategies. And that's what our role is, to help everyone out there grow their business and grow it through Ring. And that pet tag is a really simple way to do it.
mm,
Yeah, we call it the 8, right? You finish a job, you just installed a doorbell and a floodlight, you look across the street and you go, that house is being recorded. I'm gonna go over there with a pet tag, let them
Yeah.
know that their house is now being surveilled, let them know I can make changes. Here's my business card. Oh, I see you have a dog. We're also really passionate about keeping pets safe in the area. Here's what it
Mm,
does. Give me a shout sometime. More often than not, you're gonna stand there and answer a few questions and then come back on Thursday to see what's up with their Wi-Fi or to see why channel 6 isn't coming in clear anymore.
right.
But you'll be
Right.
there providing solutions.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the same idea as like our driveway needs. It's got a few cracks in it. It could definitely be redone. And like my neighbors had their driveway done like last year, and yeah, these guys kept asking me. The answer was no. But yeah, it's the same idea, just of
Yeah.
capitalizing on those opportunities.
Yeah, if somebody
Mhm.
tells you no, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Only a good thing can happen from asking for business because you
Right.
either have something you didn't have or you still don't have the thing you didn't have.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, you guys are Amazon, so you're going to continue to innovate and keep making really great stuff. And um, so integrators have to be seeing that. And I mean, if you guys are at CD every year,
Yeah.
I'm sure your booth is always really busy. So how can integrators use that whole picture and of the entire ecosystem to show clients, the bigger value story?
Well, the first thing I would do is I would make sure that you're fully aware of the scope of Ring, right? Our indoor cameras, our outdoor cameras without lights, with lights, our hardwired, our doorbells, our alarm systems, our full lighting suite, and then
Mm,
our integration partners, our Works with Ring, and then Alexa suite is seemingly endless. It's probably growing faster than you'd be able to catch up to it. But what I would look at is there are hundreds of resources, thousands of images, dozens of blog posts on both the dealer portal and ring.com for you to say Ring's mission is to make neighborhoods safer. I share that vision as a part of my business and take our content, go to our dealer portal, go to ring.com/press, make these posts, put them out there because it will get the phone ring more than just standing in someone's house and being able to reference Ring. Ring is one of those brands that most people know, right? I think the last one was 71% are pretty like hyper aware. Oh, the doorbell company. Even to the
yep.
point where sometimes people call non-Ring products rings. They go, oh, I have a ring. And then you get there,
Mm,
it's not. But
yep.
you know what they mean.
Yeah.
So I would lean into that a little bit and say all the great things that they're capable of in a DIY sense, if you don't want to, you don't feel like it, you're just too busy, or you just don't feel equipped going up on a ladder, great. That's why I'm here. And leverage that to build the relationship because you will, I always joke as well, a lot of the integrators are going to get us, Ring mentioned, as an objection. They're going to go, can't I just use something like Ring? And first of all,
Mm,
just, but secondly, you can you can use Ring and other things. So we have processes of onboarding on Viv cameras. It's a little more difficult than just a regular camera the first time, but it works and it works great. So there are solutions where you can use Ring and, we say a lot, our goal is not for them to double their business with Ring. It's to double their business
right.
and bring Ring along. So it's more of how can we put, if you want to sell more houses or you want to sell more hang and bang TVs, great. Let's talk about a doorbell strategy and leveraging the Ring's multi-million-dollar national campaigns all the time to get you in front of more homeowners to say, watch how I tie this to the doorbell and you should
Mm,
see what I can do on the TV. So it's going to create more opportunities. If you sell more networking systems, get used to selling floodlights and spotlight cams and outdoor cam PoEs because seeing a broken floodlight means I can offer a battery backed up solution from a spotlight cam or an outdoor cam or a PoE. And now it's forcing that solution forces our hand to go and talk about battery backed up Wi-Fi. So now we're not talking about a $250 floodlight. We can deploy our team of 30 electricians, like Chris said, to say, you're on the lookout for floodlights and broken driveway lights. Because if you see a floodlight, it's probably $330, but it might be $3,000. The driveway, it might just be some of the solar ones from Ring that are in the back of the truck at a couple of points of margin. Great. But it might be a full coastal source system or an FX Luminaire system. So having those visual cues and putting us in position to create the conversation, not just to close the sale.
Right.
Yeah, listen, we've invested a lot to grow that Ring brand. So from a dealer standpoint, lean into it. Use it. Use that name to help you grow your business to get to those other jobs and those other opportunities.
Right. Let's say there's a integrator who is for whatever reason not dipping into the ring pool quite yet. Maybe they're a little hesitant because of it's such a you know uh, commodity in the consumer world, and it's somewhat known as a DIY product. Where should they start bringing it into their integration business? What's that low hanging fruit?
I would start on two fronts. The first one would be I wouldn't start. I mean, if you want to recommend something else, by all means. What I would do is be on the lookout for us, though. When you walk into a home, instead of seeing ring and groaning, see if you can notice how it's hooked up. Most of them are battery. So being able to spin an existing system into being much better is you taking a step in value above the previous installer. Whether that's do it for me or DIY, you get to go, you wouldn't believe the upgrades I can make to that in just a short amount of time while I'm here to do X. The second thing I would do is add us in as the fail-safe option. I sold Savant and C4 and Crestron, now Nice, all those, right? URC, I was all over the map. But when I couldn't get those systems, or the budget didn't demand it, or the system didn't demand it, I'm not going to leave with nothing. I'm going to build a system that works. I'm going to put a Fire Cube and a Pro Control in with a battery doorbell for $700. But that solution is going to live on in that neighborhood, and everyone who comes over is going to have to learn to use that remote. So not hitting a home run, get me on first base, but I don't want to walk back to the dugout, right? So the third one is use us to keep the phone ringing. You can always upsell from us. We do, to your point, there are tons of products just like us, but how many of those does the customer understand? Go do a commercial for one of the other cameras and see how many questions are, but who are they? Are they like Ring? Will probably be the question you'll get the most. So use us in your marketing, solutions like Ring. And then when it's not the solution that's needed, they do need something that's pan tilt or 8K, high contrast, whatever, something we maybe can't do, even though we can do most of that right now. Provide them as a solution, use it as an upsell opportunity. We're not asking you to bait and switch anybody, but how many people, if we asked on this corner of the street, Luma or IC Real Time or Axis, all cameras I love, but if you ask them, what about Ring? They go, oh yeah. So using that in the social media, using our authorized installer on the back of your pamphlet, which is available on the dealer portal, it just gives you another thing in your hat where they go, oh, you like Bugs Bunny? I like Bugs Bunny too. So it's like, fine. Oh, well, we do have that in common. So put it in your hat, put it on the menu, look out for it and upgrade it, but treat it like Sonos from a few years ago. Remember when nobody liked Sonos because it was stealing all the multi-room systems? And then we all realized that you could hot rod it with some badass amplifiers and some in-ceiling speakers, and now we love it. Same type of thing with Ring. Hot rod us, integrate us, come up with fun solutions. If you're looking for one, reach out to us. You can't tell, I love talking. I'm not short on words. So, we said it in the webinar, but Chris and I are idea magnets. We spin them, we twist them around, we make them better sometimes. Sometimes we make them a little worse, but we will communicate all versions of them. So if you're thinking, sounds great, I don't know what to do first, book a meeting with us in the prelude link that we sent you, and let's go through a couple of them. I'll give you 5 ideas in 30 minutes. If you don't like any of them, cool, don't call me back. You want to try one? Great. You want to tell me I'm nuts? That's okay too.
Yeah.
And I like Tommy's idea of like if you're new to Ring and you walk into a house and they see they have a system already, just think about the upgrades. Think about what you can do. You're walking in, you run like, hey, I rang your doorbell. How long did it take that notification to get to your phone? It's like, well, you know what? It took probably about 20 or 30 seconds. How about I put a Ring Alarm Pro in here? I'm going to store your video locally, and that's going to cut your notification time. Like, oh, great. And then, hey, while I'm in there, I noticed your network's moving slow. How about we talk about that? It's just the opportunities you have to kind of build upon that system and talk about that upgrade path. So, like, hey, I see the camera outside. It's looking a little old out there. How about we upgrade you to a new 2K one? And the great thing is, you're going to have a lot more upgrade capabilities later this year from Ring. So it's an exciting time to really get on board and get prepared for that. There's going to be so many cool things we have coming with Jamie returning back to us. We're really leaning into innovation again. So we're going to see a lot of cool things coming in later this year and beyond.
Yeah, walk past the house and look for the blue light. If you don't see it,
Yeah.
the battery's dead, and that means there's an opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. To what do you guys attribute Ring's success as more well known as a DIY brand, and because you guys have found a lot of success in this channel,
Oh, I think I lost
and
you there.
it's tough for a lot of other brands to do that. I mean, there's a handful of new at CEDIA this year. One of your main competitors actually. Um, yeah. Could you guys speak to that?
I
As
think we
far as the DIY component, listen, yeah, we understand that, we start off, as a DIY component. We start off in residential. But you know what? We have hundreds of thousands of businesses that are using Ring today because they see the value. And a lot of them are using our professional installers to do that. Because yes, they can get up on the ladder, they can do it, but they don't want to. You
Mm,
know, is it a DIY process at times? Yes. Is mowing my lawn a DIY process? Yes. But you know what? There's plenty of landscaping companies out there that are mowing a lot of lawns in my neighborhood. So there's a lot of opportunities, and it's more about it's using the Ring product to sell yourself as well.
mm,
That's perfectly said because DIY is subjective, right? I personally believe that we live in a DWIFM world, a deal with it for me world, where if I'm not going to do it myself, I don't want to be involved at all. Which is the best one for me to get and do it? But I mean, you people building your own house used to be DIY. People don't change their oil anymore. They don't cut their hair. So I would challenge anybody who says, that's too DIY. Okay, go to a Great Clips and stand outside and watch how many people have someone else make their hair shorter,
yeah. Right.
or have someone else bake their bread. These all used to be DIY things. And it wasn't a matter of they couldn't, they just didn't have the time to. They don't feel secure on a ladder. Sometimes they're just waiting for someone to go, yeah, that is a good idea. Because they're like, I just don't want to buy the wrong one and have my friends be like, what'd you just buy that one for, you
Yeah.
dummy? You should have didn't you read the article with sometimes they want a
Yeah.
pro. And, I worked at Best Buy for a long time. And the thing I learned is if you got up and took the time to drive all the way down to the store to look at a TV, you were just looking for someone to go, that is a great TV. Because
Right.
you can't
Right.
buy a bad TV now. So
Yeah.
what made you pick that? I've been looking at it for months. Why'd you drive down here today? I don't know if I can say no anymore. Well, then stop. And they go, you're right. Because they're just looking for that little nudge to go, this isn't dumb. You can do this
Right.
and it's awesome. And it's right. But sometimes they just need that little, here. Yeah,
Right.
that'd be
Yep.
great.
I got you. All
Right
right.
outside for the dog.
Yep.
Great idea.
um. Yeah. What's one thing that you guys would talk to integrators about? The opportunity with Ring if they're just starting.
I would say there's never been a better time to be a Ring Pro than right now. And that's someone I was a Ring Pro for years. And then now I work for the Ring Pros for you guys. So it's the first time that when products are coming out, I see a direct, easy use case for us to go, we don't even have to explain this one. A PoE camera, that's for us, right?
Right.
Some changes that are coming later this year that we can't really get into. That's for the customer. The customer will absolutely benefit. But that looks like one of us designed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Right.
we're starting to get into more of that. Serving the end customer in a DIY world is understanding that a lot of customers just don't feel like it. And that it's DUFLI. Do you feel like it? Right? Is your drill charged? Do you know where your ladder is? Are there any spiders on it? These are all deterrents to DIY. So, Yeah, I would say if you're new to this, if you're considering it, if you've left us in the past, I'd say tune in, watch for Cedia, see what we're putting out, be on the lookout for us, and watch how often a small, let me add a power adapter to that battery camera turns into, hey, do you know anything about landscape lighting? Hey, we're finishing our basement. Do you do theaters? My friend just bought a farm and they have all this. You never know who we're going to run into because everyone is somebody. And some people are really somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like Tommy said, it's a great time to be a Ring Pro because of the products and their services. But don't forget about the resources that our pros have, and that's Tommy and I. So if you have questions, you want to throw some spaghetti against the wall, reach out to us, and because that's what we're here for. We love working with our pros. We love helping them. We love helping grow their business. We both come from that small business mindset through the years, so we really enjoyed the opportunity to work with our pros out there. So make our phone ring, give us a call.
Absolutely.
Very good. All right. Well, thanks, Tommy, Chris. Thanks as always, man. I appreciate it.